Well, we're really glad to see you all here on a cold, blustery night. Did you have to go to school today? No, Homer didn't, I guess, but Cortland did. Okay. Well, we're very glad that you're here, and I'd like to introduce the ringers to you, and I'm going to start over here, and I'll sit down out of the way. Bonnie Innerst, Ginger Candle, Shirley Cahill, Marth Seals, Susan McCurley, Carol Rutherford, Laura Rankin, Cindy Troy. She gets to sit out the first song. Okay. And up in the back row, Jan Jeffers, Jean Edwards, Sonia Rocco, Ann Finnemore, Nancy Hatch, and Nancy Sternfeld. Well, tonight's concert is a little bittersweet for us in that we lost one of our ringers in October. Mary Louise Condon had rung with us for close to 20 years, and she passed away quite peacefully, I think, at the age of 88, the day before our first rehearsal. And we're sorry to miss her. We had her written into the program, but so we've dedicated our program this year to Mary Louise, and we're thankful that she was able to ring with us for as long as she could. Last year, when we got to our we made it luncheon at the end of the year, I said to the ladies, okay, write down on this little yellow card your favorite Christmas carols, and I'll tally them up and we'll figure out what we're going to play next year. Well, you're going to be hopefully treated to our 7 favorites. And before we begin, though, I'm going to ask the ladies to all look at you and smile, because this is possibly the last time that you will see them smile until we play our final chord. They will be concentrating, and that's just the way it is. The first 3 songs that we're going to play are more sacred in nature. We could play them in church and not get in trouble. The first one is the Ukrainian Bell Fantasy, but you know perhaps the Ukrainian Bell Fantasy by a different title. Anybody know what it might be? Thank you. Carol of the Bells, that's what it is. And it is based on a Ukrainian New Year's song. It was written by a Ukrainian composer, and I probably will pronounce this incorrectly, Mykola Leontovich. And 100 years after he wrote it, Peter Wilhowsky translated it into English, the lyrics that he had written. The lyrics are, Christmas is here, bringing good cheer, to young and old, meek and the bold. Okay, the Ukrainian Bell Carol, or Carol of the Bells. Now, there we go. Just had to get connected. Okay, last year after our program, my friend Vivian Bosch told me about coming with her granddaughter, Annalise. And I said to her, well, ask Annalise what her favorite Christmas songs are. You know, we can think about them for next year. So Annalise chose 3. Do you remember what they were? Jingle Bells, Carol of the Bells, so we've done one already, and Gloria. Well, Vivian was quite surprised because she was expecting Frosty the Snowman or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, that's what we would expect most kids to do. But as it turns out, Annalise chose 2 of our 7 favorites that were the same for the ladies. So we're going to play Gloria for you now. Now, in Latin, it's Gloria in excelsis Deo, which means glory to God in the highest. In French, it translates to the angels in our countryside, and here in America, or in English, we know it as angels we have heard on high. Page 3 is missing. Page 3 is still missing. Well, I'm going to have to ad-lib then. I should have checked. This is the part you cut out when you do the tape, Tom. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, what are we playing? We're playing It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. It was written in about 1850 by a Universalist pastor up in New England. And we're going to use the bells in a little different technique this time. So I'm going to ask them to do some demonstrating for you. So first of all, I'd like to show you or let you listen to and see what the bass bells are going to be doing. So bass bells, are you ready? They'll be playing with mallets, and it'll be a staccato pattern. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, on top of that, we're going to add a melody in the treble bells. Okay, ladies? 1, 2, 3. So if you listen carefully, hopefully that'll happen just about in the middle of this selection. Thank you. Well, we're really, really pleased to have the bell choir from the United Community Church in Tully play for us this evening. Last year we got to visit them and play in a concert at their church, so we're delighted that they're here with us. And I'm going to turn this over to Bonnie, who's going to tell you a little more about the bells and about Tully, their choir, their bells, and the Whitechapel Ringers and our bells.
Good evening. So glad to see you all here. So I'm the traveling music here, while three of our ringers go up and join the choir up in the bell loft. We're very pleased to welcome the Kay Crowley Bell Choir from the Tully United Community Church under the direction of Laura Rankin. Laura and her sister Carol Rutherford came to the rescue of our Whitechapel ringers several years ago when illness left us with 2 vacant positions in our Christmas program. We are thrilled to say that Laura and Carol have continued to ring with us. Last year, Tully hosted the Cortland Ringers for a joint concert, so this year we are very glad to have the Tully Ringers here to play for us. You may hear some subtle differences between the 2 bell choirs this evening, as the 2 bell choirs are ringing different brands of English handbells. The Whitechapels that are here in the front of the sanctuary, the Whitechapel Ringers are performing on a set of 61 cast bells from the Whitechapel Foundry in London, England, the same foundry which cast Big Ben and our own Liberty Bell. Whitechapels are traditional English handbells with leather clappers. The clapper, that's this thing in the middle. And we have leather handles as well. And they are made from an amalgam of 3 metals: copper, bronze, and tin. Sadly, after 450 years of making tower bells and handbells at the London site, the foundry closed in 2017. But the good news is that tower bells and handbells continue to be produced by Whites of Appleton, Oxfordshire, who purchased the Whitechapel patents. In 1965, the Swartout family gave the first 30 Whitechapel bells in memory of Peter Swartout, who lost his life in an automobile accident. When Peter's mother, Virginia Swartout, died, an additional 7 bells were added to the set, gifted by Bob and Susie Swartout. Then, in the 1980s, 24 more bells, 12 of our big ones, this whole bass octave down here, and 12 of the smallest, the tiny ones that are only like this big around. 24 more bells were added to complete the set, gifted by church members and friends. And then, upon the death of longtime ringer Charlotte Adelson, our set of chimes, their Melmac hand chimes, were gifted by her family. The Kay Crossley Memorial Bell Choir is ringing Schulmerich bells. The Schulmerich handbells are also called English handbells, but they're made here in the United States in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. Schulmerichs are made primarily of bronze, but use modern materials such as plastic and rubber for the clappers and handles. That company was founded in 1935 and began making handbells in 1963. It is now one of the premier handbell makers in the world. The Kay Crossley Handbell Choir was formed back in the early 1970s when the Methodist and Baptist churches in Tully decided to merge. John Crossley was the choir director for the Methodist Church before the churches merged, and he became the director of both. His wife Kay passed away after a battle with cancer, At that time, the Crowley family bought the bells to start the bell choir, and they were dedicated to Kay. Most of you will be able to see them up in the balcony bell loft. But you can all enjoy, if you're under and back there and you can't see them, you're all going to enjoy the beautiful bell music that they bring to us. And now I'll turn it over to Laura. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me? Okay. Well, first, thank you for inviting us. We're excited to be here. I'm going to just quickly introduce everybody. I'm going to start over with the highest bells, and I'm going to say everybody's name, and I'm going to say how many years they've played. First is Stacy McRae, 23 years. There's Diane Ames. She's new. She's still in training. She has 3.5 hours. But she has graciously filled in because we lost a player for a while. She'll be back, but left us with a big hole, so we can only be here today because of Diane, so thank you. So, Del Wayne, 7 years. Marie Kemp, 7 years. Kim Gutendorf, 38. Carol Rutherford, 7, 8, 9, 10? 9, 10? Yeah. And going back over this way, Keith Murray, 2, but he's our MVP. Nancy Tolino, 8. Kathy Burgett, 42. Sharon Mariani, 13. Sonia Shepard, 40. But we're saving John Burgett for the last because we can proudly claim that John Burgett is the original charter member of the bell choir that started in 1970. So he has 54. Yes. So last year, the Whitechapel Ringers came to our church in Tully and celebrated with us when we put on our Christmas concert. So we were very pleased when they asked us to join them this year in this beautiful church. Now our concert in Tully won't be until December 22nd, so we've been a little crunched to put 3 pieces together to get them worked up. But I think we have an advantage. Being way up high here in the balcony, we're closer to God. And as you know, a little providence from above never hurts. So if we play well, we're going to thank the Lord. If we don't play well, we're going to blame it on nosebleeds. So our first song is called Christmas Joy. It's based on the tune Joy to the World, which was written by English minister and hymnist Isaac Watts, and it was introduced in 1719. It is based on a Christian interpretation of Psalm 98 and Genesis 3. The melody in the first 4 measures is really just a simple C scale backwards. And our version starts out that way, but then it takes some twists and turns and right angles. Okay, well, this piece is called Hanukkah, Hanukkah. Listen for the percussive sounds produced by having the ringers, with mallets in hand, strike the bell handles, mallet stems, the table, or anything else to make a noise which will create rhythmic patterns that are fun to play. I think the choir will agree with me that all we want for Christmas is to get through this next piece. And actually, I have to say, not only have we borrowed Diane Ames, we did steal a bell for that last piece, and we will return it. Our last piece is called A Merry Christmas. It's a lovely rendition, and you're going to be hearing three popular Christmas tunes. Listen for Ding Dong Merrily on High, Masters in This Hall, and God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
So there we go, I'm up. So now 3 of the ringers will come on back down and be down here with us, and they borrowed one of my bells, so I hope they're bringing that back. The E flat needs to come back. And so while they're coming down, I'm to invite you to do a stretch, the 7th inning stretch, because you know there's going to be 3 more songs that we are going to do down here. So if you want to stand up and stretch and move a little bit or say hello to your neighbor, please feel welcome to do that. And we'll have 3 final pieces.
Okay, I guess we're ready to ring again. The next 3 songs that we're going to play would probably not be appropriate to play for a church service, but we're going to play them anyway because they're 3 of our favorites. The first one is the Christmas song, but it's known by another title. You know what it is? Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Okay, very good. Well, it's kind of interesting to hear how it came into being. You know who wrote it? Mel Torme. Very good. Okay. So it was July of 1945, and it was an exceptionally hot summer. So this is what Mel Torme wrote. He said, I saw a spiral pad on Bob Wells, that was his pianist, on Bob Wells' piano with 4 lines written in pencil. They started, chestnuts roasting, Jack Frost nipping, Yuletide carols, folks dressed up like Eskimos. Well, Bob Wells didn't think he was writing a song lyric. He just thought that if he could immerse himself in winter, he could cool off. So 40 minutes later, that song was written. Mel Torme wrote all of the music and some of the lyrics. So today I'm going to suggest that you think of a sandy beach and hot sunshine, cool and refreshing breeze, and a tall lemonade. And maybe it'll be warmer when you go outside. Now, there was one particular line that we had a lot of challenges with, and it was reindeer know how to fly. So can somebody give me an A? Reindeer really know how to fly. Okay, ready? Can I have an A? Hey, reindeer, ready? This is how we practice it. Ready? Reindeer really know how to fly. When you see it written, it's rather difficult. It's quarter, quarter, and then a set of triplets on 1 beat, and then a set of triplets on 2 beats. It just was a challenge for us, but we got it. And now we're going to play Chestnuts Roasting. Now, you've been sitting here long enough. You did get a little stretch. We're going to ask you to sing the first phrase, the first verse with us. I bet you know it. If you don't, just hum along. And Here we go. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
But you'll see that across the globe. I tell you somebody dressed up like Eskimos. And some mistletoe will to make the season bright. Good night, will hardly be hard to sleep tonight.
Well, this next song is a new favorite for us. We've played most of these others before, but this one was one that came up on the list of 7 favorites. It was A Charlie Brown Christmas. Now, do you happen to know what year Charlie Brown appeared? Seems not that long ago, but it was 1950. What was the name of the comic strip? Peanuts. Okay. And we happen to have one of our members who is a Charlie Brown aficionado. And I won't say her name, but Cindy. Cindy loaned us this rug to kind of. We'll put Charlie, we'll put Snoopy right there. And then she must have a little, actually she has a blanket too, but we didn't know what to do with the blanket. So who's this? So those are our mascots for this particular song. All right. You probably remember the story. The short version is that Charlie Brown is feeling sad as the Christmas season approaches. So Lucy suggests that he direct the neighborhood Christmas play. After many trials and tribulations, Charlie Brown is able to remind his friends what the true meaning of Christmas is. So in this arrangement, you will hear Christmas time is here, skating, O Tannenbaum, which translates to mean O Christmas tree, and Linus and Lucy. And if you listen carefully, you will hear our own Peppermint Patty, Violet Gray, and Lucy Van Pelt announce the activities that Charlie Brown is going to have them all do.
Let's go skating.
Let's go dancing! Okay, now you've got to go back to work again because we're going to play a song that was written in the 40s and 50s, and it was originally for the movie known as Holiday Inn. Anybody know? White Christmas. Okay. Bing Crosby starred in it, and actually it was released twice. The first version came out in the 1940s, and then 10 years later, a new version appeared. The setting was moved from Connecticut to Vermont, and there were a few new characters added, but Bing Crosby still had the lead, and it still was a love story with a happy ending. Now, we'd like you to sing the first verse with us, and I think you probably know the words. White Christmas. While we set up for our last piece, there are a few people that I really want to thank. I want to thank the choir from Tully. Thank you so much for coming. And I apologize for the mistakes I made. Pastor Johnson, thank you for your help. Debbie Ossett in our office helps us with all the programming or writing and things. Tom Corey, thanks for being up there with all the equipment. Gary Sutton put on a little lunch for us downstairs. We appreciate that. Paulette Fry, thank you for your help with us. And Linda Parker and Lois Kiernan, who were here to pass out the little green sheets to you. So now we're going to ask you to join us again. This has become somewhat of a tradition for us to close our program with Let There Be Peace on Earth. I think you all, hopefully you have a sheet with the words. And we'll play a short introduction. I'll give you a signal when it's your turn to sing, and then we will close it out with hopefully a grand finale. Thank you again for coming, and we hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Tonight